Welcome, everyone, to Mondays with Michael. So good to be with you. I'm Dr. Michael Gaeta, your host. Thanks for being with us today. If this is your first time with us, or if you've been with us a lot over the last 7 years, we are delighted to be with you today. Just really honored to have today's guest with us today, a courageous truth teller, which is in short supply, and it was in short supply in the COVID years and beyond and before. And we are honored to have him with us today. And we're going to introduce him in just a moment. This is an offering of the Gaeta Institute for Holistic Health Education. Our motto here is nature first, drugs last. And again, nothing wrong with pharma drugs. They're just overused. And there is a natural solution, at least 95% of the time, when a person's faced with a decision of whether they use a pharmaceutical product for their situation. So welcome to show number 324 for this beautiful July 13th, 2026, broadcasting to you from here in Colorado. And we are very honored to have with us today a wonderful man and a courageous fighter for truth and medical freedom. This is one of our main subjects on the show is natural health and health freedom. We're going to be focusing a little bit more today on the health freedom side because it's important, and we're going to be getting into a range of subjects related to that. So, whatever platform you're on, give a warm welcome to today's guest. This is Mr. Ronald F. Owens Jr. He is an author of a very well-received book called Muzzled Truth, which he's going to tell us about today. And he was kind of in a remarkable position as an officer in the California Department of Public Health in the midst of the COVID pandemic. He was very instrumental in bringing light, and he's going to tell us what he discovered today and how that relates not just to historical events during the scamdemic, but also what applies to us today. So please, let's give a warm welcome. Whatever streaming platform you're on, we're streaming to about 9 different pages and platforms live. Please introduce yourself, and let's give a warm welcome to Ronald Owens. Ronald, thank you so much for being with us today.
But thank you for having me, Dr. Michael. It's really great to be here and to share my whistleblower story with you and your audience.
Yeah, so glad you are. Thank you. And so tell us a little bit about, I mean, it sounds like you didn't plan on, you didn't have like, wow, I'm going to be a whistleblower one day and expose all this corruption related to medical interventions. Just tell us a little bit about your journey. I know you've had a very broad background in different areas. You're the author of several books, which I'd love for you to tell us about. Just tell us a little bit about your journey and how you came to be doing the work you're doing today.
Well, how far back should I go?
Well, just a thumbnail, anything you think would be interesting to
Yeah,
our audience, just to get a feel for you. I mean, obviously, the topic we're talking about is so important.
yes, it is.
If folks have a sense of who you are and why this is important to you and how you came to this kind of arc or journey, I think would be helpful to provide some context.
Well, first of all, I love the Lord. I'm a
Mm,
Christian, I'm a believer. And shared that from the get-go, Dr. Michael.
yes.
It's because my faith is what gave me the courage to
Mm,
do what I did. I still
mm,
could be working at the California Department of Public Health as an information officer because at that time I was the most tenured staff person working for the Office of Communications. When I started
okay.
there on March 2nd, 2009, it was branded as the Office of Public Affairs, but
Hmm.
they have since rebranded that office and they're called the Office of Communications.
Okay.
So my faith is what provided me with the courage to basically unmuzzle the truth.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, that's wonderful. I mean, we are admonished to be witnesses to the truth, in the Bible. There's a call to witness to what we know and to witness to the largest truth that we're aware of. And so was that something that was part of your family makeup, or that was just part of your upbringing, where your Christian faith was kind of central, or did that come later? And for different people, it happens differently.
Well, I became a Christian in 1967, 1968, when I was 10 or 11 years old.
Hmm.
My father and my mom, um, my dad was in the Air Force at that time, and
Hmm.
my mom nearly died of pneumonia around her lung, and she had
Oh,
a deathbed conversion in 1960, 67.
wow.
And after that experience, she and my dad said, you know what? We need to start going to church for the kids' sake.
Hmm. Now, were you present during that health crisis that she had?
Yes, my
Hmm.
dad was stationed at Ramstein Air Force Base in
Hmm.
Germany at that time. And he played French horn, by the way, in the band.
Oh,
I know
beautiful.
that you're a musician, and,
Yes, my
and
first
French
career.
horns are very beautiful instruments.
They are.
So after that experience, my parents started taking us to the chapel
Hmm.
at Ramstein, and then my dad received orders to be transferred to Patrick Air Force Base in Florida.
Oh,
This is about 1967,
okay.
and I became a Christian when we went to a Baptist church. I very
Oh.
I fondly remember accepting Jesus Christ into my life in
Hmm.
1967. So I was raised in the church and sung in church choirs, involved with youth groups, Bible studies, and just basically that was my experience,
Hmm.
and my faith became strengthened.
Hmm.
My dad retired from the Air Force in 1977. At that
Oh, wow.
time, he
Hmm.
was stationed at Barksdale Air Force Base in Bossier City,
Right.
Louisiana. And we traveled across the United States in a 1971 and a 1969 Volkswagen bus, traveling across the United States, and we settled in East Sacramento.
Hmm.
So I attended Sacramento City College, which is a community college here in
Right.
Sacramento. And then I got a government journalism degree at California State University, Sacramento.
Okay.
And I had my sights of becoming a public information officer with the state,
Oh,
but I didn't have experience at the time
sure.
when I graduated from Sac State. So I worked for several years at the California Newspaper Publishers Association, CMPA,
Oh,
and
okay.
I was their publications editor. This is between 1987 and 1992.
Okay.
And between that time, I mean, when I graduated from college, Dr. Michael, I didn't know anything.
Sure. Well, that's a very common experience.
But that first 5 years working at CMPA, I
Yes.
learned how to put together a newspaper from inception
Wow.
until running off the press. So
Wow,
that,
that's quite a skill set.
yeah, it gave me a lot of experience.
Yeah.
It was a hard job, but it was almost like when you go into the military and the basic training,
Right.
that was my basic training in my craft, not only as a writer, not only as an editor, not only as a copy editor, but as a newspaper production. And as things worked out in my life, it gave me the experience to writing books. So,
No. Okay.
got that experience under my belt. Still didn't have the experience that I needed
Right.
to become an information officer.
Okay.
I did work as an emergency public information officer during
Right.
the aftermath of the Rodney King riots in
Right.
1992,
Right.
and
Okay.
worked for the Office of Emergency Services as
Hmm.
emergency PIO.
Okay.
And after that stint, I was hired by University of the Pacific in Stockton, and
Hmm.
I worked in the University Relations Office. I was the editor of the Pacific Review, the alumni publication.
Huh.
But God opened doors for me to finally get into state service.
Clearly. Wow. So that kind of long-term vision you had that you wanted to serve in this way, which I have to say is not the most common. It's usually I want to be an astronaut, I want to be a baseball player, I want to be an information officer is pretty impressive as a unique calling. But that did manifest for you. Sounds like you were led step by step to eventually get there. And so when did you start at the health department, Ron?
I started at the health department officially on March 2nd, 2009.
Right?
And at that time, had worked for the state for about 11 years. No, excuse me, 1995 to 2009, that would be 14 years because I was originally hired at the Department of Toxic Substances Control, which is the state equivalent of the EPA or the Environmental
Oh,
Protection
okay.
Agency. And then I worked at DMV and
Right?
then the California Community Colleges Chancellor's Office. And
Right?
Dr. Michael, at that time, I wanted to get a promotion. I was an information officer one.
Sure.
So there's two positions that I applied for.
Right?
One was the California Highway Patrol, and
Oh,
one was the California Department of Public Health.
okay.
I'm a dude. I like
Yeah.
the motorcycles, the cars and stuff.
Chips.
I wanted the CHP gig,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
God had other plans for me, and so
I think we both grew up with the Chips TV show.
yeah, Poncherella,
Eric Estrada.
exactly. Which, by the way, he was played in The Cross and the Switchblade, that actor, when that came out in the 70s. I don't know if
Oh,
you remember the book that was written by David Wilkerson
I don't.
and the movie Cross and the Switchblade. That was
Okay.
Estrada's very first acting gig.
Oh, wow.
But I'm digressing.
Yeah. But anyway, you ended up at public health.
Yes.
Okay.
And at the time, it was just a job.
Mm-hmm.
It was a job that I felt was important because I believed in public health. I believe
Yep.
that people need to be healthy, and I was proud to work for a department to to um, to help people with making healthy choices.
Yep.
There's some positive things that CPH does.
Sure.
That's encouraging people to eat fruits and vegetables and so forth.
Yep.
But then some of the negatives I noticed
Right.
facilitating unhealthy lifestyles,
Hmm.
needle exchange programs, for example, men having sex with men.
Hmm.
I just didn't feel not only morally comfortable with
Right.
that, particularly as a Christian,
Right.
but put that aside, I just don't think men having sex with men or encouraging men and women to have
Right.
promiscuous, how do you say
Promiscuous.
that
Yes.
word? Thank you.
Promiscuous. Yeah.
It's not healthy. But CDPH didn't seem to stress that. It seemed to facilitate
Hmm.
those unhealthy
So,
lifestyles.
okay, so I have to ask, did was that something that evolved, or was that how it was there from day one? What year did you start?
I started in 2009.
2009. Okay,
Yeah,
2009. So that's okay. So that wasn't, that's fairly recently. I mean, in the last, couple of decades. But um, was that something, was that what you just described that you weren't comfortable with? Was that there from the get-go, or did that
yeah.
expand and evolve and kind of accelerate during your time there, or both?
It was there from the get-go.
Okay,
And because of my beliefs in the Bible,
sure.
my moral code, my man code, so to
Yes,
speak.
yes,
I believe that if men or women and women want to have consensual sex, that's between themselves. I think I'm a libertarian ideologically
sure.
regarding that.
Yep,
Um, um, from a scriptural perspective, it's wrong based
Hmm.
upon my belief in God and the scripture.
Sure.
But as long as they're consenting adults,
Right.
that's
You
your
do you. Yeah.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
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 Now
Yeah.
what
Live
I
your life.
do now, if I may digress, what I do object is pushing that lifestyle down the throats of children. I don't
Right.
care if it's
I'm with you on
heterosex
that.
or
Yeah.
homosexual sexuality
Right.
sex.
Right.
That should not be the agenda uh,
Right.
for educators to do that.
For sure. Yeah. I think California has been shown or seen to be one of the most aggressive indoctrinators of children with these, alternative lifestyle choices.
Yes.
So,
So
so Ron, what does an information officer do at public health
basically,
or in general?
public information officer is a person who is the serves as the intermediary between journalists, reporters, and the program staff.
Hmm.
In some state departments, the public information officer is the actual spokesperson. They may appear on camera. They may
Right.
be interviewed by on the radio or on TV
Yep.
or even by the print media.
Right.
Now, at CDPH, which is a very, very educated workforce,
Hmm.
my job was to prepare the subject matter experts to be interviewed by the media.
Oh,
So my
okay.
job was to work with the program staff in developing talking points after we get the questions, kind of getting a general idea from the reporters what they intend to ask, what they intend to report about,
Right.
and also what we would like for the message to be.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
my job was to kind of provide the logistical details of when a particular subject matter expert is going to be interviewed, working out
Right.
the time with the reporter.
Right.
Sometimes it could be on the phone.
Hmm.
Sometimes it could have been on the first floor lobby, or it
Sure.
could be
Sure.
on site someplace where we wanted the optics
Yep.
to be seen by the TV audience. So
Yes.
that's the job of a public information officer.
Okay. That's pretty important, just to
Yes, it
make sure
is.
the messaging gets out and that things, that the folks you're talking to provide their opinion are prepared. So it's something that is a coherent message.
Yes.
Yeah. So, folks, if you're just joining us, I'm speaking with Ronald F. Owens Jr. He was an information officer at the California Department of Public Health. While he was there during COVID, he heard the HHS secretary at the time, Javier Becerra, say COVID-19 vaccines are killing people and informed management, and they dismissed him and continued to assure Californians that the COVID vaccines were safe and effective. And so we are getting his story of how he came to be in that position and what he found and how he became such a important whistleblower right in the middle of that public health mechanism. So Ron, how so things? So you're there at 2009, and you're doing your thing, and then we came to the what we refer to here as the plandemic or scamdemic. What happened? What was going on behind the scenes of public health at that time?
Well, at the time that COVID hit
Yeah,
and they sent us home,
right.
I just was suspicious from the get-go.
Hmm.
Encoded in the cultural DNA of Black people my age and older,
Right.
and perhaps those younger who may know, is
Right.
the Tuskegee experiment.
Oh,
And
right.
so I mean, I've got that in the back
Yeah.
of my mind that the
Wow.
forerunner of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention
Right.
experimented. Well, maybe they just watched. They just watched between what, the late 30s and the early 70s.
Yeah.
This is my age my age, I was like 15 years old when the Tuskegee experiment was stopped,
Right.
where these black men, um, hundreds of them, 300 to 400, if my memory serves me correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong.
600.
It's more than that.
It was
Wow.
600. Yeah. About 400 with syphilis
Uh-huh.
and about 200 were the control group.
Wow. Well, see, that just gave me I became skeptical
Yeah. Understandable.
once this lockdown happened, and I just didn't think, based upon listening to subject matter experts like you, Dr. Sherry Tenpenny, for example,
Yep.
Dr. Christiane Northrup. Matter of fact, Dr. Sherry Tenpenny was the one at the time that was cautioning us, those who
Mm.
would listen to her,
Mm.
about the dangers of the COVID-19 vaccine.
Yes.
But anyway, back to your question, I just was suspicious and I just didn't
Mm.
believe what we were being told.
Mm.
And matter of fact, some of the subject matter experts that I mentioned and more that are coming to mind right now, they liken COVID to the flu, the everyday flu.
Mm.
So they sent everybody home. Oh, actually, it was voluntarily. You can either work at home or work in the office. Dr. Michael, I chose to work in the office.
Mm. Good for you.
And during the early days of COVID, a couple of other coworkers, we all worked in the office and we became like a call center
Hmm.
where a lot of non-media people were calling us and we were directing calls accordingly.
Oh, okay.
And so
Okay.
there was a group of public information officers that were working at what they called the JIC, or the
Hmm.
Joint Information Center,
Okay.
the California Office of Emergency Services, about 15 to 20 miles away.
Hmm.
And so I wasn't on that team. I
Right.
was working on the outside. My job was to field media requests that were non-COVID related.
Oh, okay.
So I was part of the periphery during
Sure.
the early days. And also, it seemed like in retrospect,
Right.
that's where God had me, and which was good because my mom was dying at that time,
Oh, sorry.
and so there's a lot of attention that was focused on being a caregiver of my mom,
Hmm. Of
helping my
course.
dad out, and then just kind of compartmentalizing my job 8 to 5. I wasn't
Right.
all
Right.
caught up
That's
in the
right.
drama.
Leave it at the office. Take care of the family.
Yeah, yeah. But then after she died on June 13th, 2021,
Hmm.
you know how you grieve when the loved
Of
one
course.
dies.
Of
But then you
course.
begin to look what's going on around you.
Right.
And it seemed like that after her death, my attention was focused on, hey, what is actually going on here?
Hmm.
I
Okay.
mean, I was initially skeptical, as I said,
Right.
but then I began to focus on what was going on. And so in 2021, I was the recipient of an email from the deputy director for the Center for Environmental Health.
Okay.
And in that particular email that was sent to me, that was sent to my immediate supervisor, who at that time was the assistant deputy director and the deputy director, there were other high-ranking CDPH officials that were copied on that email,
Right.
including Dr. Tomas Aragon. He
Hmm.
was the director of the California Department of Public Health at that time. And then the email from the Center for Infectious Diseases deputy director, he wanted myself and the two other folks in the Office of Communications to look at this particular statement that was going to be posted on CDPH's website
Hmm.
that indicated to 40 million Californians to stay away from ivermectin. It's dangerous.
Oh.
Leave it alone. And
Hmm.
I knew, based upon listening to Dr. Sherry Tenpenny, Christiane Northrup,
Oh, so you were
Dr.
plugged
Pierre
in pretty
Corey.
early. So Ron, it sounds
Yeah,
like you were plugged in pretty early to non-mainstream.
yes.
So okay.
I
Okay.
was ignoring Dr. Michael. I was ignoring the mainstream media
Okay.
because as a public information
Very
officer,
wise. Yeah.
I knew that they couldn't be trusted. And I
Mm.
don't
Wow.
specifically remember who, and I named those doctors, those subject matter experts, because of the community who were being silenced, being
Mm.
censored. And I don't remember who was the one who indicated to me that properly dosed ivermectin can not only treat but cure COVID. But it was
Sure.
but it was that community of physicians, your tribe, okay, your
Mm.
professional tribe.
Hmm.
So I came across Dr. Pierre Corey,
Oh, okay.
and he was, oh gosh, he was he was a participant of a Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson committee
Yes.
in December of 2020, almost a year before, because this particular email that was sent to me from the deputy director of the Center for Infectious Diseases that was sent in October of 2021. Well, in December of 2020, Dr. Pierre Corey was appearing before Senator Ron Johnson's committee and said, look,
Yep.
I have treated thousands of people, I think more than
Hmm.
8,000, if my memory serves me correctly,
Hmm.
with properly dosed ivermectin, people who
Yep.
had COVID. And I wanted to use Dr. Zelenko,
Oh, sure.
but it seemed like I felt my audience would have immediately um, rejected Dr. Zelenko because he seemed to be a lightning rod from those who were critical of his protocols. And
Sure.
I felt like Dr. Pierre Corey's testimony
Yeah.
appearing before
Very
as
different styles.
a senator
Yeah.
and his
Yes.
committee, I thought that would be more, it would be more palatable, more
For sure.
acceptable.
Yep.
So I chose that particular um, committee presentation, and I did some more research, and I wrote an email that was a replied all to everybody who was on that particular email chain, including the then director of the California Department of Public Health, Dr. Tomas Aragon.
Mm.
And I said, look, we have a great responsibility here, a great opportunity to treat and cure COVID, and we can
Yeah.
take the lead. Matter of fact, I felt like I needed to appeal before their political self-interest because people who are in those deputy director positions, they're political.
Mm.
They're political appointees by the
Mm.
governor.
Yep.
So I said, look, you guys can really look good. I shouldn't have to have played that card,
Yep.
because people need to do the right thing,
Right.
whether it looks good to them or not. But because of the political climate, I felt like I can play that card to make it sound like it was good for their self-interest to
Yep.
take the lead not only in California, not only in the United States, but in the email I sent, we could take the lead in the world. The California
Mm.
Department of Public Health can take the lead in curing COVID.
Well done.
So I sent that email, and Dr. Michael, I just felt in my spirit
Yes.
that after I sent that email, that there were shock waves
Yeah.
throughout the
I'm
department.
sure. I'm sure. Yep. So here's the health officer, Tomas Aragon, and his this was December 2020, just as you said, where he was appointed the new CDPH director at that time, just at the beginning, or the first year of the scamdemic.
Well, the response I got wasn't from him, by the way.
That went over like a lead balloon, I'm sure.
Yeah, matter of fact, as I shared in my Muzzle Truth book,
Yes.
the day after we had a staff meeting, as we usually do every morning,
Yeah.
and it was one of the shortest staff meetings that we had. Matter of fact, the deputy director wasn't there at that staff meeting, and I felt like that the deputy director, was
Yeah.
huddling with the senior leadership, trying to figure out what I'm going to do with my email
Mm,
because it went against the narrative about ivermectin
right.
being dangerous.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
at the time, I don't specifically recall. And for those who want to read themselves what happened, I invite them to go to my muzzletruth.com website and they can read the emails themselves. Matter of
So,
fact,
so show us where to go here, Ron, if you could just
so
go ahead.
scroll down
Yep.
to the first red button.
Great photo, by the way.
Thank you. Yes, my brother-in-law took that
Great
photograph,
job.
and my dad held the light. It was a cold October morning.
Oh, really? So you're
Yeah.
okay.
So we go down beneath the pictures,
Yep.
and you see where it says CDPH rejected COVID-19 treatment and vaccine warning.
Yeah.
Click on that, and those are the emails.
Oh.
So people can read themselves.
Yep.
They
Yep.
don't have to take my word for it. All those particular emails would have been publicly disclosable
Oh.
according to the California Department of, excuse me, according to the California Public Records Act,
Yes.
PRA, which is the state equivalent of the Federal
Yep.
Freedom of Information Act. So those
Wow.
are the emails that went on back and forth between my management
Yeah.
regarding not only the issue of properly dosed ivermectin, but also me learning about the dangers of the COVID-19 vaccine.
Okay, so we just got to pause there for a minute, Ron. And in about 10 minutes, we have a faculty member coming on just to share a short piece, and then we'll jump back into our conversation.
Okay.
But just want to give folks some context here. And thank you so much for posting this for people to see. And as you said, this is a public health agency. These are publicly disclosable communications. Ostensibly they work for the public. Um, but anyway, the timing of this is important. So here's Ron at CDPH sent this email October of 2021. So just to get some context there, so this is the COVID vaccines have been rolled out at this time by this time under emergency use authorization. Now, the any EUA, emergency use authorization, approval uh, or clearance has to be in a context where there are no effective alternatives. So, in other words, you only get your EUA for your product where it bypasses the normal FDA approval process to get sort of provisional approval to be used in an emergency if there are no effective alternatives currently available. Therefore, the massive propaganda campaign, all absolute lies about hydroxychloroquine, ivermectin, Chinese wormwood, on the herbal side, Chinese wormwood, Andrographis paniculata, which is the official government treatment for COVID in Thailand, was an herb. Despite dozens of studies on black cumin seed and honey and Chinese wormwood, Artemisia annua, all kinds of things, and the more famous ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine, all of this had to be discredited. All of this had to be suppressed, ridiculed. CNN made Joe Rogan look green.
Mhm.
All of this psyop, lie, disinformation, meaning intentional stuff, had to happen for the genocide jab, as we call it here, to get and maintain its emergency youth authorization. So here's Ron, like lobbing a grenade into the middle of
Yeah.
this propaganda campaign, which, and so what Ron did was very significant because what he did was lobbed a grenade into the EUA. In other words, if what Ron is sharing here, to a whole bunch of people at CDPH about Dr. Corey's work, if that's correct, if he's right, meaning Dr. Corey, then you don't need then you potentially can lose your EUA for your experimental injection. So this was very threatening to the establishment, where we were, and this is what we were broadcasting every week since March of 2020. All of the nonsensical, completely ahistorical, like never done before for good reason, because it's completely ineffective and dangerous. Lockdowns, mass distancing, closing churches, schools, and small businesses while leaving Walmart and the liquor stores open, and big box stores. Anyway, all the layers of this that we talked about for years, all of this was to make people miserable enough to accept any alternative given. The way out was the injections, where they faked the safety data that was released, highly manipulated data. They knew thousands of people were injured or killed in the safety trials that was withheld to get the EUA. All alternative treatments suppressed, discredited to get and maintain that EUA. And here comes Ron,
Hmm.
again, lobbing a grenade right into the middle of this psyop. So I'm sure this caused quite a hubbub in the proceedings there. So please, Ron, tell us a little bit more. In about 5 minutes, we're going to bring on our one of our teachers here at the school for a short presentation.
Well, Dr. Michael, what you just showed brings tears to my eyes because CDPH had the power, the influence, the platform
Hmm.
in October of 2021
Hmm.
to offer another option to save
Yes.
lives.
Yes. Absolutely.
And I have to say this politically, legally to protect myself,
Yeah. Of course.
that allegedly CDPH, the California Department of Public Health, has committed crimes against humanity,
Hmm.
withholding injury sparing, life saving information from 40
Absolutely.
million, at least 40 million Californians.
Hmm.
And so I have shared my whistleblower story with many, many platforms. You are the very first to actually show those emails. And that particular email right there just kind of hit me.
Hmm.
And how you described it, I didn't know the full impact of what I did,
Hmm.
way back in October of 2021. And we're talking about this in July of 2026 until how you
Hmm.
framed it. And it's very,
Yes.
very significant. It really is. And it
Hmm.
just, reading those words, it just affected me emotionally.
Well, understandably, I mean, you were literally in the middle of all this, Ron. I mean, this was part of your job was coordinating information getting to the public. And so, understandably, this is an emotional thing, because what you did, witnessing to the truth, here's information from a very credible critical care physician. We had his mentor on the show a few years ago, Paul Merrick,
Hmm.
who trained Pierre Corey in part, and mentored him as Paul Merrick mentored thousands of critical care physicians over his storied career. And speaking of tears in the eyes, we had Paul Merrick in tears on the show, recounting how, after having treated hundreds of patients successfully with his protocols, which is a little different, but he, did what doctors do is they try stuff. He was told, and he told this story on the show, of how he was ordered to stop treating patients.
Mm.
And he told the story of how 7 patients died.
Mm.
And all he was allowed to do as a physician, and I guess this is just administrators telling him what to do. All he was allowed to do was watch them die.
Mm.
And it was heartbreaking because he knew, because he had done it so many times, that he could save them. And it was heartbreaking because, he just had to stand there and visit them in their room and knowing they were dying, and he could save them, and he wasn't allowed to. So I just want to give one little slide, and then we're going to jump over to, we have a short
And if
presentation
I
today.
interject,
Yeah,
Dr.
please.
Merrick is named in that email.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Thank you. I didn't read the whole thing, but thank you. I'm just going to give one slide just to give some context, because the reply from public health, understandably, again, they have a drug to defend, right? They are acting as the marketing team for the COVID shots. And here is this is from somebody named Mark Starr, and we're going to come back to this story in 15 minutes. But here it is. This is Mark running cover for the jab, for the genocide jab, the murder weapon, the poison death shot, and dissing, criticizing, undermining the credibility of ivermectin. And I'm just going to show you one thing, and then we're going to do a little intermission in a moment. But I just want to let folks know that ivermectin was awarded half of the Nobel Prize in medicine and physiology in 2015 as a human drug, and one of the safest pharmaceutical products originally isolated from a soil microbe on a Japanese golf course in the 1970s by this guy, Dr. Satoshi Yamura. And he teamed up with a Merck scientist, Bill Campbell in Ireland, who worked for Merck in drug development, to develop ivermectin into a drug. And it was awarded the Nobel Prize in 2015, along with, an herb I'm writing a book about, Chinese wormwood. Both anti-parasitic drugs. And so, the usual, oh, it's a horse dewormer, the Sanjay Gupta CNN propaganda that it's a horse dewormer wasn't wrong, but it was still nonsense, because at that time, over 4 billion with a B doses had been administered to humans. So this was, by any measure, a human drug. Yes, it was a veterinary drug, but it was very much a human drug, and one of the safest ever produced. So, folks, I'm speaking with Mr. Ronald F. Owens Jr. He's amazing, and we are going to take a short pause and a little intermission, a little palate cleansing gelato with one of our very popular faculty members and a good friend, Dustin Strong, who many of you know and love from his many teachings, 10 courses for our school. Welcome, Dustin.
Thank you. From now on, I'm going to introduce myself as a palate cleansing gelato. I think that's going to go on my resume from now on. Thank you.
Okay, so now, because you've just been practicing recently, so say that in Italian.
Non posso ricordare come si dice questo. I can't say that. Plus, how many
Beautiful.
Italian listeners we have on this station right now?
No,
We'll
I
come
just
back
like
to
to
it.
hear I just like to hear the language of my ancestors, and you speak it so well. I aspire
Ah,
to your
I
level
love.
of fluency.
I'll be prepared. I'll be more prepared next time. Scientifically, I slow down in Italian, but I want to say I really appreciated the end of the conversation I just caught there. You guys are really digging into some great stuff, obviously. Grateful to have you on the show, Ronald, so that we can hear more about everything. But it's something very timely I wanted to ask you about because you're talking about ivermectin, you're talking
Yep.
about artemisinin, obviously, or Chinese sweet wormwood.
Yep.
What about the cyclospora outbreak, right? That's a protozoa,
Mhm.
right? That a lot of people are worried about with they're afraid to eat all kinds of foods now because of this massive outbreak of this parasite.
Yeah.
I was actually I have had a lot of questions coming in about it today myself from a lot of different clinicians and around the country. I'm looking at garlic and I'm looking at myrrh and I'm looking at
Yeah.
many things, but is there evidence of the Chinese wormwood in efficacy with the cyclospora to your knowledge?
Well, I will find out. I
Okay.
haven't looked at that exact parasite. So what Dustin's talking about, this is a microscopic parasite like malaria, and Chinese wormwood is the best treatment on the planet for this microscopic parasite malaria, which until not too long ago killed about 60,000 people a year. Well, this is easily the most important anti-parasitic agent, pharmaceutical or natural, in the world, partly because it is when used as a full spectrum plant, it's very difficult for pathogens, in this case parasites, to develop resistance to it because it's a multi-agent drug all on its own. So I'm going to get you an answer in a minute, but we know for sure it is an extraordinarily effective anti-parasitic agent.
Okay, very good to know. Well, I know specifically protozoa, right? And I'm looking at the strategies that I would
Well, right.
take if that were the case, and
Yeah.
I would definitely be considering adding in artemisinin.
Yeah,
And
it's the single most effective agent if you have to pick one in the world easily for any parasite of any kind.
okay, there it is. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
So I was going to talk a little bit about brain health real quick. Right?
Sure.
I wanted to drop in
Sure.
and just say, you know
Thank
what,
you.
I've changed a little bit my messaging around this to say that the more I study brain health, the more hopeful I become. Because the amount of research that's coming out is tremendous. There's so much that we can do in this world. However, the earlier we start doing it, the more important it is, right?
Yes,
As with
yes.
most things with health.
That's
And
right.
so that's why the seminar that I'm teaching this year is called The Urgency of Brain Health. We've done this on the Gata Institute, but
Yes.
I'm getting deeper and deeper into so many aspects of
Yes.
what we can do now and what things we should be removing. And to the point that you were both discussing, as far as people not being given all of the appropriate information for their health,
Yes.
I would say one of the things that you and I were talking about recently that really is a little hard for sometimes for people to hear is this research about blood pressure in older adults being
Yes.
low, contributing to cognitive decline.
Totally. Yes. That's
Right.
right.
So that's one of the things we're going to be talking about at the seminar quite a bit. Huge study showing that blood pressure that was less than 130 over 80, less than 130 over 80 was associated with excess mortality. I mean, this has to be a part of the conversation, right? So many times when we're trying to maximize our brain's health, we forget
Yeah.
that the nutrition has to get to the brain for
Yeah.
us to be able to
That's right.
support the actual brain.
That's
And
right.
I always mention Dr. Sarah Kotlerman, brought to my attention the importance of chiropractic care because that forward head carriage, cutting off circulation to the brain often is an issue.
Right.
But also if you're forcing your blood pressure low with
Yes.
medications. So very interesting. Just a thing I want to throw out there to people. Kind of just pay a little bit of attention to. This study was specifically for people over 75 years of age.
Right.
It was over 415,000 people.
Wow.
And they were showing it's more dangerous, according to this study. And I think you have that study, and I think you can put that in the links. I'm sure we've talked about that. To be forcing it though, and this is because I see so many people I have, a couple in their 80s that come to me, and their blood pressure was in that range. It was
Right.
still close to 130 over 80, and their doctor still put them on a blood pressure medication because they're still trying to hit that 120 over 80 for everybody. And I just think it's worth reevaluating the overall value of forcing that low.
Right.
We could talk about blood pressure in a lot of different ways, but it definitely changes based on the context, right? We have to remember the context of individuals that are older. And I would always say, what if they accidentally ate perfectly for 3 days and their blood pressure normalized, and then they take a blood pressure medication,
Right.
and then they lose their they pass out, and they hit their head. And that's one of the main reasons we have a lot of people in emergency rooms is over medication when it comes to that type of medication.
Right. So Justin, I just want to make sure I got the right one here. Is this this is the JAM Internal Medicine? Am I looking at the right thing? Oh, this is 2021.
I can drop it into the
oh, that'd be great. That'd be great.
Here with everybody.
And then also your event link.
Whoa, that is too big for me to drop that in. Apologies. I got to find a different way to share that.
Oh, just the link?
Yeah, for some reason, whatever that.
Oh, if you go to the study, you should be able to. There should be a DOI in there.
Yes.
Or a PubMed ID.
Yeah, let me see if I can find that. I think this might be it. If you search that, I think you're going to find it.
Okay.
And
got it.
And for my seminar, the link is actually, it is a standard process seminar that I'm teaching in Austin on the 18th.
Okay.
And I can provide you with a link for that as well, that I'll drop in afterwards for everybody.
Yeah, please do.
Also teaching in the same one in Portland, Oregon, Tulsa, Oklahoma. So a few dates across the country that we'll be covering this. But the reason I wanted to jump on is, again, talk about the urgency of this. The sooner we start integrating these things that are bringing us hope, the better off we're going to be in the long term. And now's the time to do that.
Well, that's great. Thank you. So what's one, based on this, I think this, we'll see if this is the right study. Do I have the right one here, Dustin?
Are you
Blood
sure?
pressure in frail older adults associated with cardiovascular outcomes, all-cause mortality.
That looks about right. Yep, that looks like the same. Yep, age and aging. Yep, 49. That's it.
Age and aging. Okay, great. Okay, good. Oh, so I'm glad this has come out. This is 6 years ago, and this has come out. I'm glad this came out. This is a big study. I was not aware of this one.
Yeah.
So what's for folks who are concerned, this is even in the conventional mortality lists, Alzheimer's is now number 6 cause of death. It's really number 7 because conventional medicine is number 1 cause of death. What are a couple of what's a suggestion or two for folks who are concerned about age-related cognitive and memory decline?
Well, I mean, obviously, nutrition is going to be the first thing I'm going to talk about.
Yep.
Omega-3s, making sure you're eating fish, wild caught fish from the ocean as often as possible. There are so many different things I could outline in that. People talk about creatine, they talk about the things. I go back to the basics of making sure that you're getting your macros of their protein and fats and digesting, right? The older we get, the more challenged most people's digestion becomes. Right. So that has to be first and foremost. But I would be remiss if I didn't say, hey, you have to start taking a look at the side effects of all the medications that people are just being thrown on willy-nilly after the age of 50. And okay, that may be aggressive for me to say willy-nilly, but it seems that they are without complete justification often. People are being put on this, or without the full context.
Right. That's
great. What happens is, Michael, that most people come to me with the question of, how do I have this conversation with my doctor that I don't want to take this medication? That's a very interesting piece there, because they're afraid to insult their doctor. They're afraid to tell their doctor or push back at all when they are feeling bad on their medication.
Right.
And I want to tell people, if your doctor, which hopefully most of them are, really want to be on your team and they really care, they're going to respond to a thoughtful question. And what I would usually say is something like this research is to bring to them and say, doctor, this is interesting. What do you think about this? And how does this apply to me specifically being in this age category? And I think having those conversations helps to clarify and actually strengthen your relationship with the person
Yes.
who's helping guide your health.
That's right.
And honestly, if they're not willing to have that conversation, maybe they're not the right person for you.
Right.
You don't have
Right.
to hand over your health to somebody who isn't showing you that they have a very powerful interest in making sure that you're getting the best of everything that science has to offer these days.
Well, right. And that's a good point, Dust, because that comes down to humility. You know, you and I have
Yep.
been practicing for a while. We don't know everything.
Mhm.
And look, we're training other practitioners. We still have lots more to learn, you know, and there's always more to learn. So I think that humility in a practitioner is important, you know, and not just to shut down, you know, oh, well, this is what I do. And if it's outside of that, then it's nonsense. You know, I think that's important. And, you know, as I tell patients, you know, I suggest you decide. You know, I'm
Right.
just making suggestions.
That's right.
Do whatever makes sense to you, but this is what I think you should do and why.
Right. We're here to help kind of shine some light on the blind spots in what
Yep,
they have been presented with, and
that's
to
right.
give them all the options so that they can make an informed decision based on all the
Right.
options. And I think that the side effects of these medications have to be a part of that conversation for
For
sure.
sure. Yep.
And if you're, and it's sorry to just, I know I don't have a little bit of time left, but I think what you were trying to get me to say is, or talk more about is those missing pieces in our diet that we really could do better to put more focus on. I said omegas
Yep.
and protein, but you're hearing everybody talk about lithium again.
Yes.
More. You and I have been talking about it for years. In fact, you know, it's becoming much more of a higher awareness that this is a mineral that is essential, that we do need to have in
Right.
appropriate amounts and in appropriate forms, as opposed
Yeah.
to the medical forms that have been approved by, you know, for
Right. Right.
the WHO.
Bipolar. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. That's very true. And I appreciate that. And you know, I picked up that simple tip from you years ago. I've been using it since. It's just so simple. Wild fish 4 to 5 times a week.
Yeah.
I've made that recommendation hundreds of times, and that was a conversation you and I had years ago. And it was like, wow, that's just so simple, and it's
Yeah.
so easy, and so you know, like, oh, I can do that. I love fish, or whatever it is,
Yeah.
and things like that. And I know you talk a lot about sleep and its relationship. We did a whole course on that,
Yep.
related to cognitive health.
Yes, yes. Sleep for sure. I mean, obviously there is a big pillar for that, very important. And here's the thing is we keep hearing all of these new miracle pills that are going to be the one thing that's going to fix everybody's
Right,
brain.
right.
And I just want to remind everybody that, you know, yes, there are some great things out there that perhaps we don't know about yet, but
Yes,
they're almost always going to be in foods.
yes.
One of the big ones that have been brought to me recently is plasmalogens. Okay. So
Oh, okay.
plasmalogens, and they're saying, well, there's this very specific, you know, one seafood that you can actually get it from. So we put it in a pill, and that's not true. Plasmalogens are available in scallops. They're available in mussels. You know, they're
Yes.
available. You know what I mean? So again, it is back to the whole foods and making sure that we're getting the actual seafood instead of,
Right.
you know, buying into some hype about some discovery of one tiny little thing that's available. God would not treat us that way. You know,
That's
if
right.
something
That's right.
is essential for our health, it's going to be more abundantly available than that.
Yeah, that's a great
Wild
point.
caught, Amy, is definitely better than farm fresh.
Wild
Farm
fish.
raised fish are going to be higher in omega-6s, which are a little more pro-inflammatory or supporting the inflammatory cascade, whereas the omega-3s are resolving that inflammation and essential for so many things. That's just one minor difference, but also farm raised fresh fish, as they call it, is probably not going to have any of the other micronutrients that we're looking at. We're looking at iodine being very important for brain health, and many other nutrients, selenium, that are very going to be poorly underrepresented in a farm fresh fish versus a wild caught fish.
That's right. Well said. It's just like grass-fed beef versus grain-fed beef. I mean, the nutritional profile, or organic versus conventional food. So I know Dustin's got to move on to his clinic day. Just want to send folks to our store, michaelgated.com/store. Dustin has designed a wonderful product. You'll see it's the thing at the very top. And it's a wonderful combination. It's been very efficacious, of lion's mane, which is a remarkable mushroom.
Source of
With,
ergothioneine, right? Yeah, I forgot to talk about
that's
ergothioneine.
right. That's right, ergothioneine, and low-dose lithium orotate at 5 milligrams, and lemon and blackstrap molasses. That combination is very helpful. So you'll find that in our store at michaelgated.com right at the tippy top. It's so important. I put it right at the very top. And it's a very simple formula. One a day is all you need. And it's a wonderful, maintenance prevention. I know, Dustin, you use higher doses therapeutically,
Yep.
correctively, but preventatively, just maintenance.
And even lower
and-
doses long term. Sometimes it's only a couple to few days a week. Do you actually need to
Okay.
keep it in
Okay.
for
Well,
long term?
that's an excellent thing. And last thing, and then we're gonna let Dustin move on here, is I just want to make sure folks know about his many courses on mental health, which is so important. And he's recorded several. I just want to make sure folks know about them. And they are here on his faculty page. And I just want to give folks just to how much is available here. You can read his extensive bio and look at these courses. Most of them actually are on mental health. So please take advantage of that. These are wonderful courses. I had some contribution to some of them, and they're just wonderful. We got great reviews, amazing information there for yourself, your family, your patients in Dustin's courses.
Thank
Well,
you
thank
all
you,
for
my
your time.
friend.
Appreciate it. I know I dumped some things on you, but I appreciate it.
Oh, it's
And I look
great.
forward to hearing what you found out about Artemisinin and
Yeah, I put it in the
chat.
chat. It's just a quick. There's probably better studies, but I put an initial chat. And if you could, before you go, any courses, seminars, anything coming up that you wanted folks to know about, if you could drop that in the chat, that would be great. Just so folks can, if there are links that you can put in, just so
Okay.
folks can
I will do that.
do that. Thank you, Dustin.
My pleasure.
Appreciate it. All right.
See you soon. Take care, everybody.
Appreciate it. You bet. All right. Well, excellent. So glad Dustin had a chance to a few minutes to come in with us today, and very practical help available to optimize mental health, to prevent mental health challenges, which is a big issue. Every year, patients come in, and that's every year is more and more of a concern. So that's just very significant. Before we're going to get back to our today's main guest, in just a moment, couple of announcements. I wanted to make sure all of the practitioners who are with us today join us for our 11th annual Love, Serve, and Succeed Intensive, which is coming up in just about a month, about 5-6 weeks from now. It's one of the big highlights of our school is this live in-person 5-day retreat on an organic farm and regenerative ranch. Please join us for that. And I'll also get this over to the watch page. And then also, we have, oh, right, of course, our show page. Thank you for those of you who've been sharing our show page with your friends, family, patients, colleagues, and thanks for those who've been attending, over these many years. Also, we have in session right now a very important new course on fertility. One of the big problems with the genocide jab has been a massive spike in miscarriage and infertility, which possibly was by design. I don't know. It would make sense, given the agenda, to reduce the population and make them sick and easily controlled, fewer, smaller amount of people. But natural functional approach to fertility just started. You can certainly catch up easily on the first couple of classes with their recordings. But we have one of the top hormone experts in the world, Dr. Mark Rhodes, with us. I'm teaching as well. And we are in the early phase of this interactive 8-week clinical masterclass. So please join us. We have class number 3 coming up this Wednesday. So please join us or recommend anybody you know who has fertility questions, concerns, issues. It's a very practical course, and not just on fertility, but also male and female hormone health in general. So please join us for that. All right, let's get back to Ronald Owens, and we're into it of what the significance of blowing the whistle was. And so, Ron, we're at the point in our story where the folks, also your colleagues at California Public Health, were not super excited to hear about the effective treatments, tragically, for the bioweapon. And just what happened then?
Well, basically, I got a response back the day after, and they said, "Look, you're not a doctor."
Hmm.
I didn't say that I was a doctor.
Right, right. Like, what does that matter?
Yeah, I'm not
It's
a
true.
doctor.
Is
Yeah,
it true is a better question.
yes. Number two, next time you have questions about or suggestions about how to fight COVID, go through your chain of command.
Oh,
Don't
yep.
involve senior leadership.
They were
So,
shutting you down.
yeah. And the third thing was that CDPH is not in a position to approve that kind of treatment. That's something that's not
Hmm.
within our wheelhouse. That's our meaning CDPH.
Hmm.
That's something that the FDA needs to do. And my thinking, Dr. Michael, is this: we have this health emergency, and
Yep.
rather than hiding behind bureaucracy and
Right. Exactly.
regulations,
Exactly.
we need to develop some sort of out of the box approach to save people's lives.
Yes.
To me, just tossing the hot potato way across the North American continent
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
Washington, D.C.
Right.
is not an option.
No. No.
And it's something that my mom raised my two sisters and brother, my dad as well. She always told us you can do what you want to do.
Hmm.
And if CDPH people really wanted to help people,
Hmm.
they would put their careers, their positions, even their pension on the line to save people's lives. I
Hmm.
say that, I declare that on July 13th, 2026, because that's what I did. I'm
Yep.
not bragging on myself. I'm thinking that as a public health official,
Yep.
yes, I'm not a doctor, but I raised my hand to swear to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States
Yep.
and of the state of California. That goes with the territory.
Hmm.
You be honest. You be men and women of integrity. You provide accurate information for the people.
Right.
So
Yeah,
that
and by
was
the
the same
way,
response.
to their, this is the whole appeal to authority. Like, oh, you're not a doctor. This is garbage. Javier Becerra is a lawyer. He's not an attorney,
Yeah,
and he was HHS. Now I think he's running for governor or something like that of
you're
California.
right. You're right.
He's an attorney, and he was running all of HHS. And they tried to pull this on Bobby Kennedy. Well, you're not a doctor. And then he said, well, by the way, almost no one who's done this job has been, or most of them have not been. Why is this an issue?
And
Uh,
and Dr. Michael, Bill Gates is not a doctor, but
that's
yet
right.
he's heralded
That's
and
right. That's
platformed
right.
as the most brilliant pro-vaccine person on the planet.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Yep. So what happened then? So you brought this up. You lobbed a grenade into their psyop of, vaccines is the only solution in all situations. You were, presenting information.
Mm,
Really, the clinical experience of a physician is what you were sharing. Hey, this doctor's having success. Maybe people want to know about this.
yeah,
So what happened then?
nothing.
Oh,
They proceeded with what they wanted to post on
hmm.
California Department of Public Health's website,
Wow.
telling 40 million Californians that you're not a horse. I'm being,
Hmm.
the Dr. Starr's comment didn't indicate that, but basically, CDPH allowed him to post what he posted.
Hmm.
And when I say CDPH, it was approved by the agency. and
Yep.
ultimately it's approved by the governor's office. So it goes all the way up the chain of command.
Wow.
Anything
Wow.
like that sensitive is approved from the top down.
Hmm. Interesting.
So Governor Gavin Newsom,
Yep.
his administration, Dr. Mark Gawley, who
Hmm.
was the Javier Becerra state equivalent here in California.
Yep.
He had to approve it, in addition to, of course, the leadership at the California Department of Public Health.
Yes. Okay. Well, you know, that's a safe path for them to take is silence. They do that all the time. Truth comes out and it just gets completely ignored because that's the safe play. You won't draw attention to it, and you just remain silent. This happened very famously with the aluminum toxicity in vaccines, vaccine adjuvant toxicity. One of the top aluminum researchers in the world um, released a rat study on neurodegeneration, brain damage
Mhm.
from doses of aluminum injected, not ingested, injected, used in human vaccines, and the mice were wrecked. I mean, cognitively, they became very aggressive. They became very hostile, violent, disoriented. They couldn't complete the maze or whatever they were doing. And he published it, and the response was, as he said, crickets, just as you had said.
Mhm.
The scientific community just ignored it completely, which is the safe play for them when the truth comes out.
Yeah, yeah, crickets. That's all I can say.
Yeah, yeah,
Perhaps that's
right,
all to be said.
right.
I paused because I'm reflecting about something that I had written in my book,
Yeah.
where I was being told that CDPH is not in a position to approve properly dosed ivermectin. That's the province of the FDA.
Mm,
But as I reported in my book, and I'm trying to find the particular page, and I can't find it. I'll try to just remember it.
sure.
There was a treatment that had to do with facilitating men having sex with men.
Hmm.
And that particular treatment was approved by CDPH.
Really?
So basically,
Wow. That's
when it
messed up.
comes, yeah, so that's basically, and I was noting earlier, or I inferred earlier,
Yeah.
that the California Department of Public Health, it's not about public health.
Hmm.
It's about political health.
Right. It's ideology. It's
Yeah.
ideological.
The,
Yeah.
the P is not public. The P is political.
Hmm.
So it's
That's good.
basically um it's the political win is for CDPH to facilitate men having sex with men.
Hmm.
But it's not CDPH was not they didn't want to look at ivermectin as
Hmm.
an option, as a viable option, as a very healthy option, as
Yep.
a Pulitzer
And
Prize.
Nobel Prize
Oh, excuse
winning
me, Nobel
drug.
Prize
Yeah.
option. I say Pulitzer thinking
No,
about
it's all right. It's all right.
journalism. I'm sorry, but
Sure,
yeah,
it's fine.
yeah.
So you overheard HHS Secretary Xavier Becerra, also not a physician, he's an attorney. He said that COVID-19 vaccines are killing people. What was that all about?
Well, as I noted earlier, I was finding alternate sources of information during COVID. And one
Yeah,
of the
it's
social
amazing.
media platforms that was platforming a lot of physicians of your tribe
Yeah.
was on Telegram.
Yes, for
And
sure.
so I don't
Still
know
is.
what
Yeah.
particular um, Telegram account where I stumbled upon what Department of Health and Human Services Secretary
Hmm.
Javier Becerra said. He was basically appearing virtually on the White House's official YouTube channel.
Hmm.
It was a convening on equity summit. And he casually remarked talking about the context of the COVID-19 vaccines, and he
Right.
said, quote, "We know these vaccines are killing people of color,
Wow. Now,
blacks."
was that like a hot mic unintended, or was that like he meant to say that publicly?
That's something that we need to ask him.
Hmm.
You know, it's not up to me or you or anybody else to ascertain what his intent was. But
Right.
I do know he said it.
Hmm.
You know, these vaccines are killing people of color, blacks, Latinos,
Hmm.
indigenous people at about 2 times the rate of white Americans.
Hmm.
When he said it, there was no reaction from the people who he said it to.
Wow.
Nobody said, Dr. Becerra, did you misspeak? Did you make a mistake?
Right.
Would you like to correct yourself? Dr. Michael, the last time that I checked, and that was like a few days ago, that particular quote is still on the White House's official YouTube channel. It's been part of the public
Wow.
record since April 14th,
Wow.
2022. That's more than 4 years.
Wow.
So your question is, well,
Wow.
did he make a mistake or not? That's a question that we need to ask him, and he's running for governor.
Hmm.
And
Right.
maybe one day I might be in a public venue and I'll ask him that question.
Yep. Yep.
Javi Becerra, you want to become governor of California. You want us to elect you. But did you tell Californians way back on April 14th, 2022, that the
Hmm.
department that the vaccines are killing people
Right.
of color, blacks, Latinos, indigenous people at about 2 times the rate of white Americans? You
Wow.
know,
Yep.
as a Christian, I love humanity. I don't care what color you are.
That's right.
The very first words of that quote, we know these vaccines are killing people. Full
And
stop.
Ron, I found the video. Would you like me to play it?
Yeah, don't take my word for it.
Let's hear it from the attorney HHS guy. Okay, let's again, I haven't played this before. I haven't, verified or like checked it before. Make sure it plays well and all that. But anyway, let's just take a look. This is a clip posted on Mike Adams' web social platform, Brighteon. And here it is. This is, yeah. Okay, so let's just see if we can get this to play. Let's see here. Oh, sound down. Okay, let's try again.
By the way, we know that vaccines are killing people of color, blacks, Latinos, indigenous people at about 2 times the rate of white Americans.
Our death rates are too high. Here's what we know. We know that the people who are dying from this disease are 11-fold more likely to pass if they are.
We expect their conversation to be wide-ranging, to cover a range of topics of mutual interest, everything from COVID-19 and our efforts to address the global pandemic to mutual interest, everything from COVID-19 and our efforts to address the global pandemic, about why it's important to get vaccinated, why these vaccines are safe, why they can still kill you even if you are under the age of 27. We need to be clear and direct about our messaging.
Build a wall high enough to keep it out. There's no wall high enough or ocean wide enough to keep us safe from the vaccine and from the COVID-19 in other countries.
The federal government continues to take aggressive action and proactive steps to address the COVID-19 threat as we attack the health and safety or protect the health and safety of the American people.
I'm delighted that uptake of the vaccine is now 95% amongst over 60s, and that protection against dying from the vaccine is around 85%.
Dying from the vaccine?
95%. And that protection against dying from the vaccine is around 85%.
So they are older people, 70 years of age and older. We know they are just so vulnerable to getting ill and dying from this vaccine. 70 years of age and older. We know they are just so vulnerable to getting ill and dying from this vaccine.
Well, there you go. So that was more than we were looking for, but
Yeah, a lot more.
a lot, right?
I mean, that adds to it. Just buttresses what
Sure does.
what I told my management way back in April of 2022 and told them in
That's right.
October of 2022.
Yep.
It's
Wow.
really disgusting. It's enraging. It's saddening. It's depressing.
Yep. And as we say here many times, God wins. You know, as dark as things may get, you know, life prevails.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Ron, you published several books more on the spiritual side of things, biblical commentary, and so forth. We've had some guests on over the years who have referred to the global situation, including COVID, but beyond. And I'm thinking of some of the policies that are being promoted there in California, but bigger than that, as a spiritual war. I know you've written about, you know, different subjects in your books. What would you say about that?
I'm reminded of Ephesians 6:10. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against
Hmm.
powers, against rulers of this present darkness,
Hmm.
against spiritual wickedness in high places.
Hmm.
I'm also reminded in Galatians 5, Paul was writing a letter to the church of Galatia, and he noted the 17 works of the flesh.
Hmm.
One of the 17 works of the flesh is witchcraft.
Hmm.
And the Greek word for witchcraft, drum roll, is pharmakia.
Right. Right. Wow.
So Aaron Siri's book, Vaccines, Amen, which
Yes.
I need to read.
Yep.
I understand the premise of his book is that a lot of people view vaccines and you can't talk to them because it's like a religion.
Right.
You can't
It's a cult.
rationalize with them. Yes.
Yeah.
And it just seems like that the spiritual war aspect that is being played out as an information war.
Hmm.
I don't, I've never been trained as a soldier, you know,
Sure.
don't know
Sure.
how to use a firearm. I probably should take boxing or whatever to self-defense is good, at least as a form of exercise, but to
Yes.
protect those around you should the need arise. But God has equipped me as a soldier
Yes.
in this spiritual war
That's right.
through the written word as an
Hmm.
information officer.
Hmm.
So, in the aftermath of informing my management on several occasions in April of 2022, in October of 2022,
Right.
in August of 2023, September of 2023, I knew that it was time to leave,
Hmm.
that I could stay there. I could have stayed there. I was the name and face of the Office of Communications because I was the most tenured person there.
Hmm.
I could have stayed there and padded my pension.
Sure.
I could have stayed there and just lived a comfortable life. But in the book of Revelation, and I don't remember the chapter and verse, there's a recitation of those who will be eternally punished in the lake of fire.
Hmm.
First on the list is not a pedophile. First on the list is not a murderer or a mass murderer. First on the list is a person who is faint-hearted or a
Hmm.
person who is a coward.
Hmm.
Because evil will be here. It's up to men and women to step up. There's more of us than
Right.
of them.
That's right.
And I think the reason why that John, who wrote the book of Revelation, listed faint-heartedness or coward or coward as the first on that list is because we have the power in our own spheres of influence, in our own lane to check evil.
Hmm.
If we don't do that, who else will?
Right. Right. Isn't there, I don't know the chapter and verse, but if you would love God, hate evil, I'm paraphrasing badly, but I remember something of that nature, that there was love the Lord thy God with all, and love thy neighbor as thyself. And elsewhere, that there was a requirement to hate evil, that it wasn't enough to just, be God's hands and feet and voice in the world, but also to to hate evil in its manifestations, like that which is against life or human freedom or what have you.
And that is true, and that's from a societal perspective.
Hmm.
But the evil that I deal with in my own life is sin.
Hmm.
You know, being a person who is honest. I talked about the 17 works of the flesh that is in Galatians chapter 5.
Right.
And all of those 17 works of the flesh that Paul addressed to the churches of Galatia had to do with Christians, not non-Christians. But just not doing those 17 works of the flesh is not enough. He juxtaposes in Galatians 5 about the 9 fruit of the Spirit, the fruit of love. And it's singular, not fruits plural, but fruit singular: love, joy, peace, long suffering, being gentle, being good, being kind, being patient. I can't remember the 9th, but
Sure.
people go to Galatians 5, they can see that. So exuding the 9 fruit of the Spirit is basically an indicator for those who follow Christ, how mature you are in your faith. And rejecting the 17 works of the flesh, exuding the 9 fruit of the Spirit, it's an everyday thing. So we have this personal challenge as Christians to walk humbly with God, to work out our salvation with fear and trembling, to reject the 17 works of the flesh and accept and exude the 9 fruit of the Spirit. So we're dealing with that. I'm dealing with that every day as a Christian. And then societally, I see, like at the California Department of Public Health, oh my God, they're lying to the public regarding ivermectin. They're lying to the public, withholding injury-sparing, life-saving information regarding the dangers of the COVID-19 vaccine. Matter of fact, Dr. Michael, I think it was October of 2022, before I revisited the vaccines are not safe and they're killing people memo or email.
Right.
I remember walking outside, looking at the sky. Lord, I'm already on thin ice with management. What are they going to do to me when I send them this email?
Yeah.
And I felt, Dr. Michael, in my spirit, God said to me, what am I going to do to you if you don't send them that email?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So it gave me an appreciation
Right.
for a respect of God and to fear God. And being a courageous person is just not one and done.
Yep.
Being courageous and being bold is an everyday thing. Confronting the sin in my life, that takes courage.
Right.
Correcting the wrongs of society. It doesn't matter. I mean, quite naturally, we'd like to be successful in what we're doing, but the outcome of what we're doing is up to God. What God calls me to do is to do it. And whether I succeed or failure, that's on him.
Right. Right. So, thank you for that. That's excellent. And so at some point you just resigned and said, I can't participate in this anymore? Is that how it went down?
Yeah, I prematurely retired on December 31st, 2023. I'm glad I didn't look at the numbers because if I would have still did the same thing, made the same decision, but it would have been more difficult. I just say, look, I am retiring on December 31st.
Right.
And I immediately incurred a 55% pay cut.
Oh.
That's the difference between my salary and my pension. But I
Oh.
could not just sit there and collect a check,
Yep.
knowing what I knew.
Right.
And so I wrote my book called Muzzled Truth:
Yes.
How the California Department of Public Health Rejected COVID-19 Treatment and Vaccine Health Risk Warnings. It's in paperback, it's an ebook. And I also, for those who want to listen to it while they're driving or working,
Yes.
it's an audiobook narrated by yours truly.
Oh, excellent.
So I'm sorry.
No, I appreciate that because first of all, the book, but also that you read it yourself. I always find audiobooks much more connected, meaningful, when the author reads their own stuff. Professional voice actors are great, and it's just different. And when you hear the author reading their own words, and sometimes they'll add things that aren't in the book, because they're recording, after they finish writing the book. But in any case, I appreciate you doing that.
Well, thank you. And I have to thank Peter Baldrige.
Yeah.
He was the assistant chief counsel at CDPH between 2009 and 2014. And he and I lost touch of one another. We weren't really that close while
Sure.
he and I were both there.
Right.
But after I was accidentally sent an email that Peter Baldrige had submitted
Right.
as a California Public Records Act request.
Right.
This is God right there, because that's how we connected.
Right.
Peter wrote my forward for me, gave me a lot of credibility. And the reason why that I'm going down this particular lane is because if you get the audiobook,
Right.
listen to the forward at the very, very end.
Right.
My precious cat, the Miss Ruth, who I had to euthanize in February. There's a quick
sorry.
meow. She's on. So the engineer.
He's immortalized.
Yeah, so it's very precious to me. So I'm glad I read the book myself, because if it was a professional actor, I wouldn't have not been able to have Ruth's meow in that particular recording at the end of Peter
She
Baldrige.
lives on
Yeah,
in the audiobook. That's great.
Yes, he does. Yeah.
So, Ron, just walk us through this is muzzledtruth.com. And what will folks find here?
Well, basically, when you go to muzzletruth.com, you're going to see, as you showed, and as I indicated earlier, I've been interviewed by many podcasters, but you're the very first person to show your viewers the emails that I sent back and forth. At the top, Free Now Foundation, Alex Meyer. I watched her interview you. Very great interview. I can put a plug to Free Now Foundation.
Sure.
In that particular button, there's a request for people to contribute, to donate to a documentary that is going to be produced about what I'm doing here in California.
Oh, good.
So in essence, when I have gone to 54 out of 58 boards of supervisors, riding my Can-Am motorcycle.
Wow.
There are 58 counties in California.
Wow. So
Just
here's
about-
so I hope people can see this photo. This is God's Happy Warrior, just to quote Bobby Kennedy, referring to himself, but I think it applies to Ron as well, very much. Cruising around California, going to these Board of Health meetings and bringing the truth.
Gender correction, Board of Supervisor meetings.
Oh, Board of Supervisors. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right.
That is a nice ride you got there. Wow.
Yes, it is. But you
It's a
know what?
sweet ride.
At 69 years old, that looks comfortable. But after 2-3 hours, I need to get off that bike and stretch.
Wow. That's great. And then
I've got various pictures there.
yes.
I donated more than, how many gallons of blood did I donate?
It said 5.
5 gallons? Yeah.
Wow. That's a lot of blood. That's all the blood in the human body, by the way, 5 to 7. Well, actually, it's a
Wow.
lot more, 5 to 7 quarts,
Uh-huh.
which is about 1.5 gallons. So you've donated like several bodies worth of blood over time.
Yeah. Well, oh God, these vaccines have contaminated the blood supply, Dr.
Yep.
Michael.
Yep.
But that's another subject in and
It
of
is. We've talked about that quite a bit.
Yeah.
So what was that? So there's Condoleezza Rice. What tell us about that photo?
Well, at the time I worked at the California well, I just worked at the California Community College's chancellor's office, and there's a diversity award
Okay.
that is named after her late father.
Oh.
And every year that award was bestowed upon a community college student,
Hmm.
and I would have to contact her office to coordinate with developing a quote that was attributed to her.
Oh,
So she
okay.
came to speak at a California Community College event in
Yeah.
2009, and I'm
Okay. Very nice. And then looks like you had blood clots
This
back in
is
20.
yes, and this is key right here. In February of 2009, I had pain in my chest, and I was
2019.
2019.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Thanks for correcting me.
No, it's all right. I'm just reading the
Yeah,
caption.
2019. I had blood clots in both of my lungs,
Mm.
and I'm glad I didn't go to work that day. And so, based upon the information that I'm learning from you and other subject matter experts, doctors, and physicians, I represent a demographic of people that if I take the vaccine, it could injure me or kill me.
Yep.
And so
For sure.
basically, we were told if you don't take the vaccine, you can't participate in society. You can't shop, you
Right.
can't go here, you can't do this. But
Right.
then if I take it, it could kill me. So
Yep.
how is that? You know,
Mm.
how's that right?
Mm. Amazing. Well, I'm glad that resolved successfully. And yeah, we're having Richard Hirschman, I think. Let me
Yes,
just
I know, familiar with him.
yeah, he's going to be on the show in, let's see, let me just go to the show page. Yeah, Richard Hirschman is in 2 weeks. And he's going to be showing these, 6 to 18-inch clots, he pulled out of folks who had on autopsy or had taken the genocide jab.
Well, Dr. Thorpe,
Oh yeah,
I,
James
I
is coming next week.
Yeah, looking forward to hearing him. He's a great man, a
He's
really
amazing.
great man. And I cite him in my book. I cite him in my book before I even knew or met him. I came across
Mm.
him. Curtis Koss, another great man. He's been sounding the alarms of vaccines, period, for years.
Yep, that's right. That's right. So that's all coming up, and yeah, I just want to just honor you've got your dad here and your let's see and
That's,
your grandmother here. That's pretty remarkable.
yeah, she lives to be
106.
106.
Amazing. Wow, bless her
You
heart.
know, Dr. Michael, she used to put oh God, I just had a brain
That's all right.
garlic. She
Oh
used to
yeah.
put garlic on her food.
Oh
Could
wow.
that have contributed to her long life?
I would say so for sure. Yeah, it is not much it doesn't treat. Cardiovascular disease, cancer, or prevention, any infection or any class of infection. It's quite remarkable. And then it looks like your dad had a role to play with his recommendation to document everything,
Oh yeah,
which looks like you did really well. Great
yes.
advice.
And the way that picture is framed, you can see the picture of his wife
Oh,
behind him and behind me in the book there.
oh yeah.
Um, my mom wrote a self-autobiography before she died.
Oh wow.
So they were married for more than 66 years.
Oh, wow. Amazing.
And
Amazing.
she died on June 13th, 2021.
Oh wow. Okay. And then, so you've got your Rumble channel here. Just want to make sure folks know what's available here. You've got various ways to buy the book. And then I'm doing a fundraiser actually for Free Now Foundation next week. So this is a webinar I'll be teaching. I'll give folks the link on the 22nd. So now, 9 days from now, I'll be doing a Free Now Foundation
22nd?
fundraiser. What's that?
July 22nd?
Yeah, July 22nd. I'll give folks the link, but first I want to make sure folks know what's available here. You've got the book, and thanks for posting the documents. There's a lot here, which is just excellent. And the whole documentation, it's what your dad recommended, document. You've got all of that here, which is super helpful. I kind of see this section of the site as tribute to your dad, encouraging you to document everything as you did. And then here's your Rumble channel, which is great. And oh yeah, there's the Cheryl Atkinson interview. That's excellent.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
That was broadcast to 43 million households.
Wow. Well, I'm glad that many people got to see your important message.
Dr. Michael, the reason why that I noted July 22nd, that's my late mother's birthday.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
great honor to your mom. She did good.
Yeah.
She
I want to
did
shout
good.
out to also Julie Threet.
Yes, yeah, I was going to ask you about that. How is she doing?
Julie is fine. I talked to her last night and I told her, I said, every time that I talk to her or see her, it's a blessing. She's vaccine injured. And God connected both of us in October of 2024. Yes. Basically, that picture was taken at San Francisco City Hall.
Oh, wow.
And the thing about, if I can share a comical story.
Yeah, please.
I went to that particular board of supervisor by myself. I rode into San Francisco, beautiful day. It was
On the motorcycle.
Yeah, on a motorcycle, yeah. And I sat down inside the San Francisco City Hall. Now, in California, 57 board of supervisors have 5 members. But in San Francisco, they merged San Francisco City and San Francisco County many, many years ago. So there's an 11-member city county board of supervisor. So I'm sitting there just watching, and I have a group text with a group of people that I stay in touch with, let them know where I'm at, my whereabouts. And Julie's on that group text. And I said, I'm here in San Francisco City Hall. And she texts, I'm sitting in City Hall too. And I said, I didn't know she was coming that day because, like I said, sometimes her health is such as that she can't travel. But she traveled that day, and she's sitting in City Hall. I said, where are you sitting at? I'm sitting in City Hall. So we're texting one another. And then she didn't know that I wasn't sitting in front of her.
Oh.
And I didn't know that she was sitting behind me.
Wow.
So that particular selfie was moments after we discovered that we were both sitting right near each other.
That's excellent. Wow.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, I want to make sure if I put the link in the chat, for this is a fundraiser. All the money goes to Free Now Foundation to help produce Ronald's documentary and other important efforts that they're involved with. And so this is next Wednesday, Holistic Approach to Cancer, which is going to be a live seminar with Q&A. It's going to be 7 p.m. Pacific, and it's going to be a 2-hour seminar. It's going to be packed with very practical information on improving cancer resistance, and we're also going to get into how to improve outcomes in folks who are going through conventional treatments. So please join us. And it's a fundraiser for this wonderful organization that Ronald is involved with and that we both support. And please join us. That'll be next Wednesday at that'll be 7 p.m. Pacific time. Yeah.
Okay.
Excellent. So, Ronald, any other thoughts you had? Well, actually, before that, I wanted to see, we've got into the subject of what's happening today. We have various manifestations, the health freedom challenges, medical freedom. We have the still available for some reason, COVID genocide jabs are still, despite thousands of studies proving harm and lack of benefit, they're still available. We have all these kind of manifestations of a deeper thing that's going on, which you've spoken of as this spiritual battle. What are your thoughts on how that's going to go, your vision for humanity, and how this kind of important conflict will play out? And any other thoughts you had on that?
Well, Julie Threet and I, we have informed all 58 Board of Supervisors in writing. I have in July of 2024
Yeah.
that they need to stop promoting, administering, and distributing COVID-19 vaccines.
Hmm.
That they need to at least inform their residents
Yes.
that even though they may think the vaccines are safe and effective,
Right.
they're duty bound according to Health and Safety Code, California Health and Safety Code
Oh.
101025, which states
Okay.
that they are statutorily required
Hmm.
to preserve and protect the public health.
Yes.
Okay, only one county, actually two counties, Shasta County, and Kevin Cry, he was
Yes.
the chair of that particular board of supervisor at that time. He had Dr. Moo, and for some
Okay.
reason, Dr. Moo's first name always seems to elude me. It's a simple name.
That's okay.
I think it's Dr. James Moo, M.U.
Okay.
Anyway, so Dr. Moo in May of 2025 presented. I'd have to hang up here. Somebody's tried to call me. Dr.
Okay.
Moo presented information about the COVID-19 vaccines, the pros and the cons.
Hmm.
And then they had public a comment after that. And, so Shasta County did that. Now they're still offering the vaccine, but at least they aired the issue publicly.
Hmm.
Plumas County, I
Right.
think this was past February, they had their public health director make a similar presentation. And it seems like Dr. Michael, people who are opposed to the vaccine, who are
Right.
sitting on the board of supervisors, their position is, well, we're not mandating it.
Hmm.
They're trying to wiggle themselves out
Hmm.
of the issue by saying, we're not mandating it.
Hmm.
And Julie and my position is that's not good enough.
Hmm.
Yes, Dr. James Moo. So he made a great presentation, and we offered that same information. This is Julie Threet's idea for the public health person at Plumas County. And Julie Threet and I, and another lady named Diana Dries, D-R-E-I-S,
Hmm.
she has been appearing before Butte County Board of Supervisor for 4 or 5 years, every
Okay.
single meeting. And but at least we presented the information. The Board of Supervisors, they heard more information from us than the 2 or 3 minutes public comment. The other Board of Supervisors, they like in San Mateo and Santa Clara, you can only speak for 1 minute. In
Huh.
Sacramento County and some other board supervisors, you can speak for 2 minutes.
Hmm.
The board of supervisors, like in Riverside, where I was in April,
Yeah.
or Imperial, where I was just over a couple of weeks ago, or was it 3 weeks ago? They allow 3 minutes.
Hmm.
Stanislaus County, and I think it's Colusa County, they allowed us to speak for 5 minutes.
Oh,
So we're presenting information to the Board of Supervisors, and only 2 counties this far have done something.
okay.
The other 56 counties haven't done anything, but
Hmm.
we don't know who is listening remotely. We don't
Right,
know what county workers are sitting at their workstation at their cubicle watching.
right.
We don't know who is watching on the replay. There are hundreds of lives that are hearing this information that is
Yeah,
not being reported in the mainstream media, that is
that's
not being shared by the public health director, that is not being totally revealed by local, state, or national politicians. So
right.
it's like in the freedom movement, we seem to be the only one that I know of doing boots on the ground, informing people locally.
Okay.
And that seems like what God has assigned me to do. And I was prepared to go alone, but God sent Julie Threet to help me, and I'm helping her. And hopefully she'll be able to share her whistleblower story in the future because
Oh,
I
yeah,
have.
we'll have her on when she's feeling up to it.
Yeah, because the information that I got regarding Javier Becerra, what he said about the COVID-19 vaccines,
Right,
she's got her own experience
right.
with Javier Becerra, what he did in Butte County.
Okay, okay. Wow, that's amazing. Thank you
Yeah.
for that. So Ronald, any final thoughts to feel complete for today?
Well, I want people to critically analyze everything that is being shared by those in authority regarding
Hmm.
your public, regarding health.
Yep.
Don't believe the fear mongering,
Hmm.
whether it be measles outbreak,
Right,
whether it
right,
be hantavirus,
right.
whether it be whatever, because the fear mongering is what disarms people intellectually from using their critical thinking.
Yes, that's right.
So I'm hoping and praying that the boots on the ground work that Julie Threet and I are doing here in California will cause people to question. I don't say if, I think when they're going to try to do it again.
Hmm.
I I believe that this was a planned gimmick, and I believe
For sure.
that they will try to do something like this again.
Hmm.
I'm hoping that what Judy Three and I are doing here in California is to have people to question authority. I used to see
Right.
those bumper stickers when I was a kid growing up.
Right, right,
You
right.
know?
That's gone out the window. Now it's
Yeah,
comply.
yeah.
Do what you're told. Yeah. Excellent. Any final thoughts, Ron?
Well, I want people to go to muzzletruth.com and support
Yep.
me in buying my paperback, my ebook, or my audiobook. And my other
Yes.
5 Bible-based books are ronaldfowensjr.com.
Yep. We've got
And
that link in the chat.
as a gift to people who go to my website, I've written about 10% of the Bible in newspaper format called the Testament Spectator.
Oh, wow.
And it's
That's amazing.
on Moses and the Exodus, Joshua and the Jericho conquest,
Oh, that's brilliant.
Gideon, Samson, the entire book of 1 Samuel, the entire
Huh.
book of Jonah, and a 48-page, 125 story in the life of Jesus Christ. As a gift to going to ronaldfowensjr.com, you can download those PDFs at no cost.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, here it is. What a great idea. And that's bringing together all of your vast experience in communications. And
Yes.
what a
Remember,
brilliant.
remember I noted about putting together newspapers back in the day?
Yes, well, here it is.
There it is.
Wow.
love
Look at that. That's
that
a bunch.
Thank you. I love that Testament Spectator Gothic 57 name font.
Oh, beautifully done. Wow.
Thank
It
you.
looks just fabulous.
Thank
That's
you.
excellent. Excellent. Well, Ronald F. Owens Jr., thank you so much. You are a courageous light in the world. Thank you for speaking up when it would have been much more comfortable not to. And for having you pointed out, the most important quality for any of us to embody in these days is courage. And I appreciate you not just talking about that, but you're doing it. You're embodying that. You're walking the talk and courageously telling the truth, even when it's not, received warmly, and you're still out there telling the truth about these important issues. So thank you for that.
Well, thank you for having me, and thank you for allowing me to share with your audience today.
Yeah, absolutely. Excellent. Thank you, Ronald. Well, good. Thank you, everyone. We will see you next week. We have a wonderful show we're going to have Dr. James Thorpe on the show. It's going to be an amazing conversation. He's an incredible physician and thinker. And then we have wonderful guests coming up beyond. But remember, next Wednesday, the 22nd, you have the link. Please attend that webinar. It's a fundraiser for a wonderful organization, the Free Now Foundation. I know many of you saw looked like it went pretty viral, the interview I did with Alex Mayer on her show. And we're just getting her scheduled to come here and spend some time with us in conversation. So thanks, everybody. Blessings to you and yours. I'm going to close. Thanks for those who were able to hang in for the whole show. I'm going to play the piano for you now as a little thank you for being able to hang in through the entire show. So blessings to all. Thank you, everybody. And we'll see you next week. Okay, let's get this set up. There it is. Okay. And that, I think, is, yeah, that's great. Okay. Oh.
I'm done.
What's that?
We can hear you, Ron.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry, I thought that was an audio problem. Okay. Okay, here's a little Bach. Okay. Well, thanks everybody. Little variations on Bach Arioso. And thanks for being here. And again, muzzledtruth.com for Ronald Owens. And blessings to you and yours. We'll see everybody next week. And take care. Oh wait, link to that interview. Oh, which link? See, Shasta's asking for a link. Okay, I'm not sure, but you can see. Free Now Foundation would be a good place to go for the interview I did, and on Rumble, Free Now Foundation for the Alex Mayer interview. All right, thanks.